Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Week 9 of Football Frenzy, brought to you by West Virginia University at Parkersburg. It was another exciting night of action in the Mid-Ohio Valley as we enter the stretch run of the season, and the playoffs are right around the corner. I'm Josiah Shinnerman, joined alongside by my partner, Griffin Albright. Sir, Griffin, this time of the year is so exciting in high school football.
That's right, Josiah. It sure is. The action continues to heat up on the gridiron as we gear up for the postseason. We had plenty of teams at home tonight looking for big wins in front of their fans. Some squads trying to improve their positioning in the postseason, while others are hoping to get hot at the perfect time as the games become more and more important. We also had an intriguing matchup between two conference foes in the Mountain State.
Yes, the Parkersburg Big Reds were looking to halt a two-game losing streak as they welcomed in the Cabell Midland Knights to Stadium Field. These teams are very familiar with one another, but the Knights came into tonight having beaten the Big Reds 13 straight times.
Right, PHS was trying to get its first win over Cabell Midland since 2011.
Oof.
The Knights were looking to extend the winning streak and get their second victory of the season. Let's go out to Parkersburg and check out that action.
Yes, let's go out there for Parkersburg against Cabell Midland. Now starting off, Bryson Smith is going to get it past the defender to find Kean Shelton for a 22-yard touchdown. Look at him rip it away there. And the Knights take a 7-0 lead. Big Reds at the goal line now, and it's Ethan Jones for the rushing TD to tie it up at 7 apiece. Now to the second quarter. Some trickeration here, a flea flicker.
Oh, yeah.
Big Reds' Alex Greer, he's going to find Austin Craven for the touchdown. And PHS up 14-7 the third. Beautiful play there.
Love it.
Silas Chevron this time going to take the handoff, and they'll take it 11 yards for the PHS touchdown. That makes it 21-7 Big Reds. But Cabell Midland answers. Logan Shull takes the sweep handoff, and he's going to break free and race for the touchdown to make it 21-13. PHS still in front. What a run there. And now into the fourth we go. Chevron will get his second TD to extend the Big Red lead to 27-13. And they finally defeat Cabell Midland. First time in 14 years, they win it 27-20. How about that, Griffin?
It is about time. I think if you ask Coach Kimes, that was a long time coming. Well, all right, let's go to Morgantown. Mohegan's looking to bounce back after a tough first loss of the season last week to Martinsburg. They host South. Maddox Twig hits Carter Cooper in stride for an easy pitch and catch touchdown. Mohegan's up 7-0. Still in the first quarter here, Mohegan's near the goal line. Maddox Twig hits Jaden Small in traffic.
Oh, wow.
A contested catch. Yeah, how about that? Strong hands from Smalls here to give Morgantown a 14-zip lead. Mohegan's back on offense. Twig with the carry, missed tackle, and another. And how about one more? I see Rumbles all the way for a touchdown, nearly a 45-yard gain. Now a touchdown there, putting Morgantown on the goal line. Here it is, the touchdown. Morgantown comes away with the 45-10 win over Parkersburg South.
Now, turning to South Harrison High School, the Hawks took on the Williamstown Yellow Jackets tonight, and the action started fast on this one, folks. Just 18 seconds into the game, Colin Seguin makes the catch, and he is gone. Touchdown, South Harrison. What a catch and run there. But that didn't stop Williamstown for long. Just 2 minutes later, they come back and tie out the game with Breck Allen finding Jack Moore for the touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Now tied 8-8. For most of the first quarter was one touchdown after another. Check out Zane Harlow running it in here. But give credit where credit is due. Every time South Harrison was in the lead in this one, Williamstown came right back. Watch Austin Kerr sprint here for a whopping 55 yards before finally being taken down there. And in a shootout, Williamstown pulls away with a 54-36 victory over South Harrison. Griffin.
Goodness. Fantasy football owners were pleased with that game. Let's go to St. Mary's for their homecoming game. Blue Devils up 16-6 in the third. First play of the third quarter for Magnolia, and the Blue Devils defense stuffs some Eli Wilson and Jace Larson in there on the stop. Magnolia driving, though. Fourth and goal from the 5. QB Kingston Kristen finds Connor Carpenter. With the nice snag for the TD. Score 16-12 in the third. Costly penalties against the Blue Devils on that drive. Coaching staff not happy.
No, they will not be thrilled with that.
Blue Devils back with the ball, driving into the end zone. Eli Wilson slices through the Magnolia defense all the way down to the 1. Very next play, QB Jeremiah DeMoss sneaks it in. Yes, it is too easy for the Blue Devils touchdown. They go up 22-12 late in the third. Magnolia kept it close, but St. Mary's brought home the big dub, 44-14.
And now Ripley going to Herbert Hoover. No lights here for the coin toss. Jackson Moore, he's going to pass to Parker Keller, but Shannon Mitchell strips it out, and Aiden Hernandez recovers it. And now Blake Fisher gets the handoff, follows his blocker, then cuts, and he is gone to the house. 7-0 Hoover. Ripley, bad snap here. Ty Mullins will bring them down at the 1-yard line. More from the Herbert Hoover offense. Peyton Grigsby throws to Noshawn Hampton, who makes the catch, being double covered at the 1-yard line. Devin Silvas would then punch it in. Ripley takes the loss, 62-14. Well, stay with us. There's a lot more ahead on tonight's Football Frenzy,
including the Fort Fry Cadets are at home against Warren.